Good evening and thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Sophie Erber. After nearly 4 years, a Norfolk man accused of brutally stabbing another man to death stood trial. We were in the courtroom this morning and have the late details now in our top story at 5. 48-year-old Rodolfo Castaneda Morjan is charged with first-degree murder in connection to the death of Yosvanis Velasquez. This was back in November of 2017. Since being arrested, he has twice been found incompetent to stand trial. But back in December of last year, a judge ruled that he could stand trial. Today, Judge Johnson accepted arguments from both sides about Morjan's state of mind at the time of that killing.
Fortunately, his evaluations with Dr. Davis and Dr. Simplebone do a good job of illustrating his thoughts about what was going on at that apartment between the people and what his state of mind was during that, why he did what he did.
Since this is a bench trial, the judge will go over the evidence and make a ruling at a later date. Currently, the court is still waiting on translations of police interviews to be completed. The city of Norfolk is now facing a lawsuit in connection to their plan to annex several properties outside city limits. A couple who owns a home just outside of Norfolk that was included in the city's annexation plan filed suit back on October 13th. They say the city did not follow the proper procedure when they went ahead with their plan to expand the city limits last month. A hearing for that lawsuit has not yet been set. And in less than 24 hours, Siouxlanders will head to the polls for municipal elections across Iowa. Locally, Sioux City School Board will elect 3 members, and another 3 will be elected to the Sioux City City Council. The city of Sergeant Bluff will also be electing their mayor, and the school board there is trying now for a 4th time to secure funding for new facilities. Do make sure to tune in tomorrow for all of the latest election results. If you'd like, you can find them online at SiouxlandProud.com or check it out on the KCAU 9 mobile news app. Meanwhile, some changes are coming to the Woodbury County election district lines. A redistricting commission met today. That was to discuss plans for city precincts as well as county supervisor districts. The commission must get a map approved and signed by the county supervisors sometime before January 15th. Pat Gill is the commissioner of Woodbury County elections on your screen there. He says a lot of factors influence what these new maps will look like.
And there are some constraints that we have to work with because legislative boundaries, precinct boundaries, supervisor district boundaries, corporate boundaries, all those things enter into how we put those maps together.
A public hearing will be held for the deadline to give people some feedback as well. The primary election is in June, and the first election in which these new districts will be in effect. We'll keep you posted. And it's time now for our first check on the weather. Chief Meteorologist Scott Larson standing by. Scott, a chilly start to our work week. Depends on how early you left for work or maybe how late you got back on Sunday night from Halloween, but there was some frost on the car.
Yeah, pretty cool outside last night for trick-or-treating also, Sophie. As we check out the high temperatures that were reached in Siouxland this afternoon, you can see that they were ranged between the low and mid 40s throughout the area. 44 in Sioux City, 43 Yankton, 45 today in Sheldon and Denison. Overnight lows will slip back to about 20 degrees, so this is going to qualify as our coldest night of the season so far. Should help to get rid of some of the bugs that continue to hang around the region. As we continue through the week, it looks like we'll have some more sunshine come our way and gradually warmer temperatures too. The weekend looks outstanding. We'll have much more with the 9 on 9 forecast coming up. Sophie?
Thanks, Scott. American Airlines has canceled more than 1,400 flights since the weekend. The airline says it had to cancel flights because of staffing shortages and also because of bad weather, adding it expects these staffing shortages to be temporary. The company says in a memo released Saturday that it will have 1,800 flight attendants returning from leave and 600 newly hired flight attendants at work by the end of this year. And just at the end of last week, the FDA approved emergency use of the Pfizer vaccine for kids ages 5 to 11. The Centers for Disease Control will release a more detailed recommendation about this on Tuesday, so tomorrow, about which youngsters exactly should get vaccinated. Shots could be given out as soon as next week, with more than 280,000 Iowa kids eligible to receive immunization. It will still be given in 2 doses, about 3 weeks apart, only with 1/3 of the adult dose. KCAU 9's Jason Toktagian shares what one parent says about getting her kid the vaccine. That's coming up tonight at 10. And in just a matter of days, we know those COVID-19 vaccine shots could be going into the arms of many children nationwide. Our Washington correspondent Rashad Hudson has the very latest.
The White House says children ages 5 to 11 could start getting vaccines this week.
We know vaccines are the very best tool we have to accelerate our path out of the pandemic.
In the final steps in the process, the CDC will meet Tuesday to give their recommendation for the younger age group. Jeff Zients, the White House COVID-19 response coordinator, says the administration has purchased enough vaccine doses for 28 million eligible kids.
Over the next couple of days, several million doses will start arriving at local pediatricians and family doctors' offices.
Friday, the FDA granted emergency use authorization for the Pfizer vaccine for children after studying roughly 4,700 individuals.
The vaccination efficacy was nearly 91% in preventing COVID-19.
CDC Director Rochelle Walensky says until children are vaccinated, it's important for parents not to let their guard down.
This means surrounding children with adults who are vaccinated to protect them against COVID-19.
Walensky says although children are at a lower risk of severe disease and hospitalization from COVID-19, they can still get sick and pass the virus on to others. Reporting in Washington, Rashad Hudson.
And right here in Siouxland, pheasant season is officially open now in Iowa. The DNR says Iowa hunters can expect to find more birds in the field this year, which should make for a pretty successful season.
We have roughly the same population we had last year, and last year we had an excellent hunting season. This year we've got 3 of our 9 population regions at least 30 birds per route average, which is the first time since 2007. So it's 14 years. Central Iowa had a 25% increase in bird numbers. All this has got the attention of hunters and not only residents but non-residents as well.
The pandemic initially created a surge in people getting their hunting licenses and heading out to the fields. The DNR says since other activities started to reopen, the numbers are back to normal. The DNR adds that even if you're not an experienced hunter, this is a great time to give it a try, as pheasant hunting in particular is picking up due to increasing bird counts.
This is a great opportunity to invite friends along that maybe didn't have the opportunity to grow up hunting, and you can mentor them. They can get a mentored license, which means they don't have to go through hunter education, but they have to hunt with someone who can provide that guidance. And then hopefully they have an interest in it and they will become hunters as well, so then they can go through the regular process of getting a hunter education.
Pheasant season in Nebraska started off this weekend as well and runs through January 31st this year. South Dakota season did begin 2 weeks ago and also runs through the end of January. If you've already had COVID-19 and recovered, we have some news for you tonight. The CDC's just released a new study about the effectiveness of vaccines for those who already had the illness. And we'll have those results and what it means for you coming up in about 11 minutes.
And it's been a gloomy start to the work week out there, but some more sunshine works in soon as the temperature gradually rises. Join us for the 9 on 9 forecast. That's coming up next.
You're watching KCAU 9 News with Sophie Erber and Chief Meteorologist Scott Larson. This is KCAU 9 News at 5.
Thanks for sticking with us. If you've been outside at all today, you've noticed it's a chilly one. Temperature is really struggling, but it is November 1st.
It is, yeah. Transition into a new month out there, Sophie, and well, it felt like it in Siouxland today with those overcast skies and temperatures struggling to hop above the 40-degree mark. As we take a glance outdoors on the Wayne State College camera in northeast Nebraska, started to see a little more sunshine in Sioux City, but it looks like it's slower to arrive there with the cloud cover still hanging tough. The almanac for today shows that our high temperature was able to get into the middle 40s, 10 degrees below the average of 54. The low this morning at 26 degrees in Sioux City. So it was a rather chilly start. As we check out what's happening now, the temperature is measured at 44 down at the Sioux Gateway Airport. The wind from the northwest at 13 miles per hour is making it feel a touch chillier. 37% is the relative humidity. Shift downward a little bit next week, but still staying comfortable in the middle to upper 50s. We have another nice photo to share with you tonight that comes to us from Janet Augustine. This was taken in Sioux City along the trail on the riverfront there. Some nice fall colors. Thanks to Janet for passing in that picture. If you have one that you wish to share, send it on in to weather@kcautv.com. When we get your picture, we'll send you a form, fill it out and send it back, and we'll show your picture right here on KCAU 9 News.
Yeah, I really did notice the colors popping this weekend, so that was really pleasant with the sun that we had.
Yeah, especially Saturday. It was a beautiful day out there, a nice day to walk along the river.
All right, thanks a lot, Scott. Well, you might have noticed I'm expecting a baby boy this holiday season, and you have a chance to guess along with me because I have no idea. How much will my baby weigh? If you're right, you could win a $50 gift card in the process, but you have to head on over to our website to participate. You must be 18 years or older, SiouxlandProud.com. You can click on the contest tab. You'll find it there, Sophie's Mini-Me Baby Weight Challenge. Well, a New York woman is celebrating her 93rd birthday by using her knitting skills to give back to her community. We'll share her story with you coming up in about 8 minutes. But first, the CDC just released that new study about the effectiveness of vaccines against the threat of COVID. We'll have more on what they're suggesting for people who had the virus coming up. Welcome back. A new CDC study suggests getting the vaccine will offer you much stronger immunity to COVID-19 rather than natural immunity, meaning even if you've already had the virus, the vaccine will still offer better protection than any natural antibodies you could have. Reporter Dan Thorne breaks down the details of this new report.
A new study is boosting confidence in the strength of COVID-19 vaccines. The CDC report finding vaccines are 5.5 times more effective in preventing infections than natural immunity picked up from a previous infection.
I think what the study is showing us is that, vaccine-acquired immunity is superior.
Marin County Public Health Officer Dr. Matt Willis says people who are protected through the vaccine get sick less frequently and contracting severe illness is rare. For non-vaccinated people who have already been infected with COVID-19 and are convinced they have antibodies should understand that the amount and quality of those antibodies is hard to measure. Dr. Willis argues gaining immunity through the vaccine has been proven to work through clinical trials.
When you're infected, you don't know how much you're getting, you don't know what the dose is, what your body's immune system might be at that particular time. And so we find people that have been infected, some have no antibodies, some have high levels of antibodies, and there's a lot more variability there. So it's less reliable as a way of acquiring immunity.
Other studies have also shown that there's the potential for even stronger protection for people who have been infected and vaccinated. Dr. Willis says the risk of not being vaccinated is not worth it.
There's really no comparison. Those of us that have been infected should get vaccinated. And people who haven't been infected yet are fortunate enough to not have been infected yet should also, get the vaccine because it's going to protect you much more than a history of infection.
Well, News Nation Prime gathers news from across our country every night at 8. But before that, Leland Vittert and Dan Abrams break down today's hottest topics, and we have a preview.
On Balance, live from the University of Richmond tonight. We're up close and personal with the two candidates for Virginia governor that have captured the national attention. That's On Balance. Here's a look at Dan Abrams Live.
Thanks, Leland. Tonight on Dan Abrams Live on News Nation. Defund the police facing a critical vote in Minneapolis. But poll numbers are showing how wildly unpopular it is among black voters. That's tonight on Dan Abrams Live.
And that's all coming up tonight on the fastest growing cable news network in America, News Nation, available on the channels on your screen, or if you'd like, check your local guide. What do you hope to be doing when you're 93? Coming up just after this break, we'll introduce you to a woman from New York giving back by knitting hats. Her story in just a few minutes.